Welcome to Letter to the Youth, where the past speaks and the future listens. Legends lived it. We pass it on. They tell my story starting on a bus. But my story didn't start there, and it didn't end there either. I was born Rosa Louise Macaulay on February 4, 1913, in Tuskegee, Alabama, in a South where racism was written into law. As a little girl, I watched my grandparents guard our house at night with a shotgun because the KKK rode through our neighborhood. Fear wasn't something I learned later. It was introduced early. I learned young that rules were made for us, not with us. Separate schools, separate buses, separate safety. I walked miles to school while white children rode buses, sometimes splashing mud on us on purpose. While the world tried to teach me submission, I was learning discipline. I wasn't loud. I wasn't reckless. I was observant. I joined the NAACP, became its secretary, and documented violence others were afraid to touch. I trained. I studied. I prepared. So when December 1, 1955 came and I was ordered to give up my seat, this was not an accident. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I didn't panic. I said no. Not because I was tired from work, but because I was tired of cooperating with injustice. They arrested me, fingerprinted me. They tried to make an example out of me. Instead, they sparked a movement.
During my lifetime, I resisted the idea of being mistreated and pushed around because of my race. And I felt that all people should be free regardless of their color. And when the driver demanded that we give up this seat, I felt that the time had come to not take it anymore. I had had enough, and this was truly the end of being pushed around.
The Montgomery bus boycott followed. Over a year of walking. Discipline over comfort.
Felt I was being violated as a human being. I had had a hard day of work on the job, and I was physically tired as well as just mentally vexed and sick of this type of thing we had to endure as a people because of our race. It did not seem right, it wasn't right, and I felt that I was being mistreated.
We knew that she was going to be convicted. But what was more important than her case per se, whether or not she was convicted or not, was the fact that between the time she was arrested on Thursday and the time of the trial on Monday, the black community had become so upset and disturbed over the bus situation and over Mrs. Parks' arrest until we had concluded that this simply was it, the straw that broke the camel's back, and that we were going to stay off of the buses until we could get some type of consideration. Because we had had meetings all that weekend as a protest for what it.
But courage came with consequences. I lost my job. My husband lost his. We received death threats. Eventually, we had to leave Alabama to survive. In Detroit, I kept serving the community, fighting for housing, education, and justice. I wasn't a moment. I was a lifetime.
Do you believe that achievement of civil rights without violence acts?
Well, I don't believe in violence, and I think we should not have violence to try to get our civil rights.
Thank you.
Oh, I like that, reporter.
I passed away on October 24, 2005, at the age of 92. So, to the youth listening now, hear me clearly. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to rush to be effective. And you don't need permission to protect your dignity. When your moment comes, and it will, stand firm or sit still, but don't fold. Because power isn't always motion. Sometimes it's refusal. I was Rosa Parks. And this was my letter to the youth.
Help young people in their goal setting, communication skills, political awareness, economic growth skills, health awareness, personal growth, and human relations. In so doing, and beginning with the young people, I feel that as long as we work with the youth and train them and teach them the right kind of self-discipline and self-respect, that we will move forward into the 90s and beyond, a people, as Dr. King once said, a great people that we can be proud of, that we will not any longer and any more go back into the old days of legally enforced racial segregation, discrimination, or oppression. I want to thank you again for your great and beautiful reception of me, and for your wonderful hospitality, and for the love that you show for me. And I ask your prayers that I may continue to be as strong as I can, as long as I possibly can, to speak and say what I can for love, justice, peace, freedom, equality, and goodwill for all.
Yeah, this is more than a story. This is a letter to the youth. This a letter to the youth from the ones who survived, from the pages of the past where the brave stayed alive. They stumbled, they fell, but they stood every time. Turned scars into wisdom, turned pain into shine. Not fairy tales, nah, this real life proof. Every legend was once just a kid with a truth. Same fear in their chest, same weight on their back. Only difference is they refuse to go back. Letter to the youth, yeah, we passing the flame. Knowledge in the ink, hope written in names. If the world tried to break you, said you wouldn't make it through, read the stories that remind you this was written for you. Letter to the youth, every word got a cause. From the rise and the fall, from the wins to the loss. We don't glorify pain, we promote the climb. Passing lessons through generations in time. This for the youth, feeling lost in the noise. Every dream interrupted, every unheard voice. History ain't distant, it's closer than you think. Same battles, new faces, same pen, same ink. They didn't have shortcuts, just faith and mistakes. Now their stories are maps, so you don't lose your way. If you question your power, let the past be the proof. Everything you need is already in you. This ain't about worshiping legends, it's about learning from them. This is a letter to the youth. Yeah.